Prefer when I'm by myself. I don't wanna hang around y'all. Pray for good health. Prefer when I'm by myself. I don't wanna hang around y'all. Pray for good health.
Ayan, ako, anong nangyari sa unmute natin? Ayan, JC, ano na nangyari sa'yo?
Ayun, okay na.
Okay, there you go.
Loko na naman.
Yung ating microphone, Yan.
Yan.
Dami, sabi ko nga sa ating mga manonood, ang daming nangyari. Sobrang dami. There are so many things that happened. We'll do our best to recap, analyze, and break down the fights. We'll kick things off with some boxing news. So we'll go boxing. A little bit of jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu's like there's Pan Ams right now. And then we'll go to the recent UFC. Okay, so we'll go with boxing. Ano sa tingin mo ang nangyari sa... What are your assessments about the Ryan Garcia versus Tagoe fight? I mean, this is one of those fights wherein hindi masyadong napansin na may Ryan Garcia fight pala.
Kasi aside from it being in catchweight siya 139 pounds eh.
Oh shit, okay.
Hindi ko alam kung sino sa kanilang hindi umabot pero nag-compromise na lang just to make the fight happen. And yun nga, I mean, ang tagal din na wala, alam ko, matagal na wala si Ryan Garcia. So, medyo in between yung may mga mental struggles niya ata and, you know, ibang issues niya pa moving from one camp to another.
Saan camp na ba siya ngayon?
Umalis na siya, hindi na siya, wala na siya sa team ni Canelo eh.
Okay.
I forget which team he moved. Pero ayun, kay Joe Gusa na siya before na kay Eddie Reynoso na siya. Imagine nasa katipo ka na ng trainer ni Eddie Reynoso.
Ano kaya nangyari doon, no? Ano kayang nangyari doon?
Not to take anything away from Joe Gusen, pero syempre alam din natin yung caliber ni Eddie Reynoso na yung mga tipo ng fighters na hinahandle niya hindi basta-basta.
Diba? Tsaka tawag dito, it's a very good what do you call it? It's going to be a good learning experience for what do you call this? Very good learning experience for Ryan Garcia. And of course, we would like to welcome from his GMA debut.
Yes. Debut on Network TV.
On Network TV.
Greetings, Titos.
Tito Karl De Mesa of Destroy MNL as well. And medyo special guest po natin, our adopted titos natin, si
medyo nasa labas.
PH Boxing Corner.
On the road.
Diba?
Sorry, papunta ako sa meeting eh.
Ay, okay lang yan. Pero kailangan
Akala ko na-aresto ka, Torny. Back of the bus.
Pero ikaw, John, sa tingin mo, diba, very unheard of. Nobody really knew that there was a Ryan Garcia fight. Diba, were you able to catch it? And what are your thoughts on that one?
Very uneventful for me. Hindi nag-engage si Tago. But at the same time, si Ryan was having a hard time cutting the ring. So, parang medyo similar siya to Rigondo and Casimero or Pacquiao Clati. Parang ganun yung dating eh. So,
tapos, it was a first round. Parang the only thing that was parang eventful, okay? The only thing eventful about that was the first round knockdown by Ryan Garcia, which was heavily protested by Tago. So, I mean, hindi natin alam kung and according to JC, sabi rin niya, it was at a catchweight pala. So, parang, okay. Ano pala to?
Parang hinabol lang gawin yung laban eh. I don't know.
Di ba? Hindi ko rin talaga mag-gets yung yun nga eh. Parang sinadya mo na nagkataon there's a Triple G fight, there's a di ba, there's a Yumir, ay, si Yumir Marshall undercard din siya. It was a UFC weekend, di ba?
May
Then
Lubin
all of a
versus
sudden,
Fundora
biglang,
din.
isingit natin, may Ryan Garcia pala dyan. May Ryan Garcia fight pala dyan. And then, let's hop on to the next one, okay? It's Triple G versus Murata. Your thoughts, John, on that fight?
Grabe yun. I was pleasantly surprised by how Triple G performed. Kasi, di ba, ang main question dyan, whether or not yung age niya would show dito sa laban na to
40 years
against
old.
Murata. Di ba? He just celebrated his birthday para a day before the fight. So, I was really surprised na na-sustain niya yung mga attacks ni Murata. And just to be fair to Murata, ang ganda ng game plan niya early on. Kasi he was throwing punches to the body and mukhang napapatigil si Triple G eh. Nababother siya. Parang yung blueprint na ginawa ni sino ba to? Si Derevchenko ba yun?
Derevchenko, yung huling nakalaban niya.
Yung nakalaban niya 2 fights ago. So parang yun ang ginamit niyang game plan, attack the body. Pero during the second half ng fight, bumapasok na yung left hooks ni GGG, pati yung alam mo yung favorite hook niya na pababa, yung parang cognac.
Yeah.
Yun, yung grabe. So it was really an exciting all action fight and strategic at the same time. Pero what I noticed the most, yung pinaka important na napansin ko, medyo levels na sila na magkahiwalay ni Canelo at this point in his career. So, medyo ayoko na makita yon, parang bad for GG, baka masaktan siya masyado.
Ayun, okay. That's a very differing opinion. JC, your thoughts? JC, nako, freeze na naman ba si JC? O, habang hinihintay natin si JC, okay, we would like to... O, kita mo to, pati yung namin, may nangyayari sa internet ngayon May something So, Junior Diapolet, watching all the way from Qatar. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, we appreciate you.
Abot tayong Qatar.
Ayan,
Awesome.
galing Qatar.
Wow.
Junior, sana make sure that you subscribe to PH Boxing Corner on YouTube, on Facebook, and on TikTok. Tapos head on over to Karl De Mesa's page. You will see his GMA debut. Very, very proud moment for the Titos of Fighting. Diba? And
Congrats.
Ako tawagin nyo akong partial and all. Okay, very partial, very biased ako sa kapwa titos ko dito. Pero yun nga, in terms of answering the questions of network people, pinaka may sense yung sagot ni Karl. Okay, so
thank you.
So
Franco.
it was very in terms of defining self-defense, putting self-defense, the word self-defense in perspective. Okay, it was really, really on point. It's the same philosophy and concept I follow. So, make sure everyone, okay, please follow us and subscribe to this channel. Please share this live talk po namin. Ayan, yung live discussion po namin. Kitang-kita nyo naman. I totally agree with John here. Triple G really, in a way, turned back the hands of time for a bit there in Japan. Murata did have a really good game plan. He was using his reach advantage. However, when Triple G found his range, it was the story of the hooks. It was the left hook setting up the lead straight. It was the left hooks setting up the right hooks. And then yung konyat hooks nga, according to John, diba? Yung konyat hooks.
I like that konyat hooks.
It's something that Triple G really specializes in. Pag mapapansin niyo yan, parang specialty ni Triple G yan. It's a very short na overhand hook. Pa-hook siya pero pa-overhand ng slight yung angle. So it's around 45 degrees na pababa, downward slope na hook, and it's highly effective. It was the story of the hooks towards the second half of the fight, leading to the stoppage in the ninth round. It was a valiant effort by Murata, pero Triple G was definitely on point. Another thing that I observed, and I think siguro si JC will have a better explanation or discussion breakdown about this. Is it was a Murata fight during the first half. It took a while for Triple G. It took a while for Triple G to get his rhythm, diba? To catch his moment, to get a little bit of momentum going. Diba? That's been a problem. Di naman, I don't want to say a problem, but it's been an observation about Triple G. Medyo slow starter talaga siya eh. And towards the latter part, as his career progressed, diba? Now at 40 years old, diba? It takes around 4 to 5 rounds before he catches his rhythm. Diba? And I also agree with John na it looks good. The win really looks good. The win really looks impressive. But is it enough to bankroll a Canelo versus Triple G rematch? Kasi at this point, Canelo's just on a different level. He's on a different momentum. He's riding on a different momentum. Ikaw, JC, what are your thoughts from that fight? And do you think it's still good to do a Triple G Canelo rematch?
Well, maraming kukontra, pero I think Triple G and Canelo 3, hindi na siya ganun ka ngayon. I mean, yes, impressive yung performance ng Triple G dun sa Murata fight, pero Murata isn't Canelo. Si Canelo, since their last fight, nag-upgrade na nag-upgrade eh. Lumakas lalong si Canelo. Even yung the way he fights, ibang-iba na dun sa second na na paghaharap nila ni Triple G. So, and din nga, yung slow pace ni Triple G got even slower this time. Parang ganun nga yung nangyari dito sa laban na to eh. And at 40, it's not, it's not beneficial for him na baka, humahabol na rin yung age niya. Ibang level lang din talaga si Triple G dun sa kalaban niya na si Murata. Pero, mahirap kalaban parating nga natin sinasabi, mahirap kalaban si Father Time. So, kung magharap sila ni Canelo this year or baka mamaya antayin ni Canelo additional 3 years bago tayo mag-trilogy. Sige.
Papagurin niya muna talaga, no? Talaga medyo pag talagang sobrang tanda na, no?
Yung process ng pag-cut ng weight at lahat, iba na pag kanyang age na. Hindi na siya kasing dali kesa nung 20s or 30s. It's even harder. Kaya ang question doon is anong weight ba sila maglalaban ni Canelo if ever, if GGG goes up. Hindi ko alam kung magiging favorable ba to lalo kay Canelo or magiging additional advantage kay GGG kasi isa pa yon. Mas mahirap nang maghabol ng lahat pag nagdagdag ka ng timbang at an older age.
Pero tawag dito, the power was still there.
Yeah.
The ability to finish, although we would see like 7th or 8th round. Ikaw, John, napansin mo ba 7th or 8th round? Medyo nagfa-fatigue na si Triple G.
Yes,
Oo.
yes.
Diba? Yun na humahabol na. Pero si Murata din, di ba? Parang sa bata ni Murata. Kinakapos din eh.
Di ba? Parang it's and di natin alam how was the travel, how were the COVID restrictions. I'm very impressed that Triple G was able to hold something like that. They allowed that whole thing to happen in Japan. Being Japan is still, di ba, very strict pa sila sa...
I guess mas paluwag na sila ngayon.
Di ba? Hindi, pa rin sila? Parang no to visitors pa rin eh. Parang hindi pa rin sila So we got uneventful Ryan Garcia. We have very, very impressive Triple G. And then, of course, the undercard. Hey, another undercard fight, but definitely main card to our hearts is the Isaiah Hart versus Yumir Marshall fight.
Yes,
for everyone who was able to watch it. And then, if you don't have any idea about Isaiah M. Hart, please go to, please go to our YouTube channel and then watch yung interview namin ni John kay Isaiah Hart sa YouTube channels namin. So you get to know him well. And then he fought Yumir Marshall. It was a very controversial fight, very controversial finish. Let's start off with John. Let's finish off with JC. John, your thoughts about that fight?
Okay, I just want to point out off the bat, no, that I just want to address yung criticisms that fini-face ni Ymir ngayon. I think it's unfair kasi for Ymir that super taas ng expectation ng mga tao, and parang with this kind of fighter na ang grabe yung amateur pedigree, parang hindi natin sila binibigyan ng opportunity to make mistakes, to learn, to develop, ganyan. So, medyo malaki yung burden on his end. Kaya parang sana matuto siya dito, and yung will pa rin niya to fight and yung to compete would still be there in the future, kasi medyo mataas yung expectations, and parang wala silang opportunity to make mistakes, and mali yun. So even Manny Pacquiao in his early days, di ba, hindi naman siya perfect fighter. So I hope hindi mawalan ng loob si Ymir. But doon naman sa technical side nung fight, I think Ymir was too focused on offense, and he really wanted to put on a show. Napansin ko yung foot placement niya kasi whenever he got hit with that right hand. Kasi si Isaiah Hart, iisa lang yung galaw niya, di ba? Jab straight lang eh. So he was just in the right position for Isaiah Hart to throw that right straight. And hulog lang yun eh. Kumbaga sa Tagalog, hulog lang yun eh. But it was right on the button, and parang to the point na parang balance shot siya na kahit hindi na siya sobrang lakas, but it was just on point eh. And what I noticed naman, during the third and fourth rounds, naka-adjust si Ymir kasi he wasn't getting hit as much, and naiilagan nga niya, napapari niya minsan. So, had it been, kung hindi man lang na-stop sana nung referee, we could have seen a spectacular comeback without the controversy. So, medyo against ako dun sa stoppage. Kasi, imagine, also, parang unfair din for Isaiah Hart, let's be real. Kasi, kung binaliktad natin yung situation, si Ymir nakascore ng 3 knockdowns, tapos nasaktan siya ng konti sa fourth round, tapos tinigil against Ymir. Siyempre, bad trip yun, di ba? So, you can't blame Isaiah Hart, for feeling some type of way na feeling niya na cheat siya, and he's really entitled to feel that way. Kaya nga sa akin, unfair din kay Ymir kasi di naman niya din kasalanan yun, di ba? So, I think ang daming questions na unanswered, and I think we were just deprived of seeing yung magandang ending sana. Ang ganda sana nung comeback na yon. That should hindi tuloy na-highlight yung puso ni Ymir, yung ability niya to, rise sa adversity. So, yun lang. It is just very unfortunate. But congrats to Ymir. Valiant effort. I'm sure next time he would be much better pa.
JC, your thoughts? Nako, wala na naman ba si
I think he
JC?
froze again.
Ayun! Nako!
Ayun.
Namin, nagjo-joke tayo.
PLDT, baka may nanonood na taga sa inyo.
Okay, bago tayo kay JC, batiin po muna namin. Double champ all the way from Switzerland, Christoph Hoffman. Mr. Hoffman, Mr. Champion, thank you for watching as always. JC, let's go.
Yeah, so, yun nga, to add dun sa points ni attorney, yun nga, hindi kasalanan ni Ymir yung outcome ng fight. It was unfortunate na ganon yung nangyari. Sabi nga nila, a win is a win. And yun na, nakakalimutan ng mga tao who are hating on Ymir na this is his second professional fight. Marami pong pwede mangyari at 26 years old. Tapos yung caliber niya naman sa amateurs, medyo maganda yung amateur record niya. I mean, madami pang pwedeng mangyari. He went from Freddie Roach to George Jorge Capitello sa Vegas. Doon siya nagte-train.
Kay Memo siya, kay Memo na siya ngayon.
Magkakaiba ng system eh. Maninibago ka talaga. I mean, let's give him the time to adjust. Dito rin pumapasok yung pressure ng mga tao na ginagawa. Hanggang ngayon, may narinig pa rin tayo. The next Manny Pacquiao, the next ganito, next ganyan. And yun nga, ngayon niloloko na nila. Yung after nung fight, sinasabi na nila, Marshall can now probably fight GGG or Morata or some dude na
medyo
of
wild
higher
yun,
caliber. Gumagano na sila kasi
Nako! Ano nangyari kay JC? Anyway, sige, before we get JC back, Karl, from the perspective of someone who analyzes the crowd and the fighters and the fight culture, what can you say about this type of dynamic? As in, people have high expectations of people simply because of the hype train behind them, and then all of a sudden nagkamali lang sila ng konti, or they didn't perform as expected based on people's parang limited understanding of the fight game. How do you see this panning out?
Ang laki ng pressure, no? Grabe.
Mm-hmm.
You kinda... It's great if you're like Connor, like super confident, diba? I can only imagine in boxing with thrice the purse and thrice the expectation from you. It's going to be unpopular opinion. My take on it is really, you kind of do it to yourself. It's more important, I think, for you to live up to your the people's expectations if you continually ride your hype train. It's so great if you can really deliver the Mystic Mac way. Parang at this point, parang super rare na tayong ganong klaseng athlete, diba?
Oo naman.
Who can actually ride this gigantic way. Kasi ang interconnected na natin eh. And I think the hype train is still parang, it's still, we're still systemically dealing with the kind of promotion that we were used to 10 years ago. Exponential na yung advancement ng technology. So what I think now is, if you're going to do that, you gotta work thrice as hard. And if you're going to if there's a doubt in your mind that you might fail, like, probably best to parang rein in yourself. Huwag ka na magpaka street Jesus. For me, I can only equate it to that kind of
Ayan, JC is
hyping
back.
yourself up. Ayan na si JC.
Ayan na. Ayun, yun.
Hindi pa rin ata.
Ayan na, andyan na.
Ayan na,
Nakabalik
naglolo ko
na.
pa rin. Oh,
Ayan na.
naglolo ko pa rin.
There we go. Thank you,
Narinig mo
PLDT.
ba kami, JC? Narinig mo ba kami?
Narinig ko. Clear naman, clear. Oo.
Diba? So, okay, final question before we let John go because he's a busy man. In connection to what Karl said, do you think there is a role that media and the crowd played in terms of hyping Yumir Marshall too much? Was he hyped too much or too early? I mean, para sa akin kasi it was too early. I mean, let's give the guy room to grow, and I totally agree with you on that. So do you think na it's a mixture of people's hype, people's expectations, yung hype din ng mainstream media? I mean, not so much mainstream media, but boxing vloggers, diba, content creators who want to ride the Yumir Marshall hype train because everyone's so excited about his pro debut and his professional boxing prospect, diba? Yung potential niya, everyone's banking on the potential and not letting Yumir Marshall, the professional fighter, the person, grow into his own mold.
And narinig niyo na ba yung isa sa parang pinaka-worst yata na sinasabi nila about Marshall? Sabi na, may nakikita na ako, he's the next Boom Boom Bautista na daw in the making. Ang lala nun.
Ang lala nun, man.
That's a bad take.
Diba? That's the guy's second fight pa lang nung tao.
Yun nga,
You know? Diba? Ikaw, John, as someone who is deep into like niching down on boxing and concentrating on the boxing community and the boxing content creators, we're ano tayo, ikaw, ako, si JC, we're all in that. Like the way you see things, the way you observe things. Do you think he was being hyped too much?
For me kasi yung hype around Yumir, it should be a case-to-case basis kasi. Depende yun sa boxer how he will take the attention, the expectations, and the hype. Kasi it could be good or bad. So, depende kung anong klaseng personality meron yung boxer. So, hindi natin siya pwedeng masagot with a straight yes or no. Kasi it depends on kung paano yung support system niya, yung team niya, everyone around him. So, based on how I perceive Yumir, yung personality niya, feeling ko hindi ganoon ka-factor yung sa kanya na yung performance is dictated by expectations ng fans. Pero since ito na yung pinakamasamang criticism na ma-receive niya, I can say for sure kasi kumbaga lalabas dito yung character ni Ymir, and I hope and I pray that gamitin niya to na gawing positive niya yung experience na to, and to use it to his advantage para sa susunod gamitin niyang fuel itong nangyari. So that's my take on it.
And then, do you think na Triple G and Canelo, like Triple G Canelo, going back to Triple G and Canelo, do you think that fight is still good? Diba? Let's hear for John, then let's hear JC.
For me, no good na yon, bro, kasi way past his prime na si Triple G, it wouldn't be as competitive as before. Hindi kasi as much as I would want to say na parang si Triple G yung Marquez ni Canelo, compared to Pacquiao, parang ganon. Pero iba na kasi ang tandaan ng Triple G. Siguro 3 years ago pwede pa eh. 'Di ba? So, I think it makes sense somehow on paper, pero in reality hindi na talaga eh. If you use the eye test, parang hindi na eh. Para last note lang na I think Canelo could sustain what Morata couldn't. So that's a big difference.
That's true. And as always, John, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Siningit mo kami sa yung busy schedule. Please tell everyone where they can follow you.
Hi guys, this is John from PH Boxing Corner. Please follow me on our social accounts, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Yun lang. So maraming salamat sa pag-support at pag-subscribe. Guys, thank you for the invite.
Take a moment to appreciate Attorney John's analytical skills while driving.
Yeah.
Hindi ko kumatanto paano siya ginagawa.
Yan ang skill. Okay?
Oo eh.
So everyone, John, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Good night, guys.
And that was John Yambao from PH Boxing Corner. Now, I'll dadagdagan natin yung sinabi ni John and ni Tito JC. The way I see it, the entire Ymir Marshall hype train was a good campaign to promote Ymir Marshall as a pro boxer. But kaakiba talaga nun is the pressure and the expectation from casual boxing fans. People who are in the know, people who are in the industry, people who are within the community definitely understands the situation that Ymir Marshall is in. You have a guy who just won the bronze medal in the recent Olympics, Tokyo Olympics. So there's so much expectation from, if you're a medalist in the Olympics, there's so much expectation from you. There's everyone's riding the credential na Olympic medalist ka leading to your pro fight. It's such a
naman kasi.
Oo, 'di ba? Pang hype 'yon, pang excite 'yon, but we also have to understand that what you learn from the amateurs, okay, are the fundamentals, and ang tawag dito, the kumbaga you by the time you step pro, your fundamentals and your basics are so polished that your coaches in the professional ranks won't really have a problem developing your base skills. All they have to do now is add. So when you say add, yan na, tactics na, anong diskarte, paano natin ikakat yung ring, paano natin, and then it's going to make their jobs easier kasi since you have polished fundamentals, game plan na kagad kayo, di ba? Ring tactics na kayo. Now, the way I see it, and we're gonna ask, and I'll ask JC's input here, is leading to that fight, Ymir Marshall stepped into the ring against a taller and a longer opponent. This was a real test for Ymir Marshall. Diba? This was a test for him and a test for the entire boxing
taller, longer,
industry.
wider.
Oo, taller, longer, wider. And doon natin makikita ngayon where is Ymir Marshall's head at, 'di ba, presently. Like in terms of is he focused, 'di ba? Is he focused? Is he determined? Nandun ba yung will? Nandun ba yung determination? Nandun ba yung puso? And with this fight, doon natin nakita lahat yun nandoon. Lahat. As in. Bro mo, it's hard for fighters na knockdown ka ng first round. Next round, bumagsak ka ng 2 beses. 'Di ba? Mahirap yun. Sobrang hirap nun. It drains you mentally. It questions your capabilities. It questions your emotions. And ikaw mismo tatanungin mo, ano nangyari? Di ba ano nangyari? Bro, first round pa lang, it was a simple
Yeah.
straight. Simple straight, diretso sa panga, like here on the button,
Linis.
dito, yung triangulation ng button, dito, somewhere
Yeah.
dyan, lagpak, talagang bagsak. Ngayon, di ba, that's the real test of a fighter. Doon mo malalaman ngayon if, di ba, pwedeng mag-give up na lang siya di ba? He could have given up, he could just defend, covered up, survive, di ba? Di ba? Lost by a decision.
Yeah.
Pero hindi Yumir Marshall recomposed, kept fighting. By the third round, he was able to catch a rhythm. He was going to the body, he was going to the head, he was unleashing power shots. He went back to boxing. Feeling ko tama yung sinabi ni JC and ni John kanina. He was too excited. There's so much adrenaline in his system na he was really eager to put on a show. And he paid dearly for it. And then he was able to regroup. Diba? He was able to regroup. And then he showed his true form. Now, I also agree na the stoppage was too early. But was it correct? I'm leaning towards yes. Kasi kung hindi pa pinigil ng referee yon, the onslaught would have just continued. And ang sa akin naman, as a referee and as an analyst, kung ako yung referee, sana pinabayaan ko na lang din. Diba?
Yeah.
Pinabayaan ko muna para walang question. Kasi yun lang yung shade That's the only shade. People are acknowledging the fact that Isaiah Hart got wobbled. But was it enough to warrant a stoppage? Yun yung laging tanong. Para sa akin, medyo sana pinatuloy mo pa ng konti, di ba? Para makita ng taong bugbog na bugbog or sana hinayaan mong bumulagta, di ba? Para bagsak, di ba? Kasi yun yung you're not just playing by the rules. You also have to cater to the eyes of the audience, di ba?
Yes.
It's still, yung sinabi ni Karl dati to, like in previous episodes, it's still entertainment. It's a visual thing for viewers. So they have to see that there is real damage, di ba? It has to be convincing. And it's something na doing these episodes and hearing you guys talk that made me improve on refereeing. Kasi na para ako like, okay, this is how I see it. But it also has to be fair for the fighters. It also has to be fair for the officials. It also has to be fair for the audience. Kailangan medyo balansehin natin.
We paid for a good story to see a good story right there.
Diba? Yun nga lang, maganda pa rin yung story ngayon pero sobrang controversial na medyo, diba? Parang,
it's still a good story. Itutuloy, diba? Parang hindi siya wakas.
Parang actually, yun nga, parang may part 2.
Napasama patuloy kay Yumir, diba? Napasama patuloy kay Yumir. Diba?
I didn't know the second fight pa
Ayan,
lang.
ito, the best to, si Coach Ruel. Ayan, diba? Marami pang dadaanan si Marshall. Ayan. Andyan pa yung magkapatid na Charlo, Lara, Eubank, at marami pa. Nothing against Marshall. Siyempre, Pinoy tayo. Pero sa ranking, kung ipapalaban siya sa mga high caliber ng maaga, parang pinakain. That is very, very true.
Yes.
And it couldn't
sobrang
come
stack ng division na yan.
Sobrang stack ng division na yan. Diba? Yan. Follow po natin si Coach Ruel, okay, A+ Sports sa Facebook. Kasi one of the really good
fighter
fighter kasi yan. So, maganda yung explanation niya based on experience yan ng actual na fighter at ng coach. 'Di ba? Lalong-lalo na sa larangan ng boxing, medyo kailangan may build up talaga. Kailangan I mean, ano lang talaga para sa akin talaga masyadong mataas yung prospect. I think we give too much and it's not bad, okay? Too much attention was brought on Yumir Marshall, 'di ba? 'Di ba? Okay yung hype. Pero dapat we still have to be realistic na wait lang. This is his second pro fight. Okay, anything can happen. Another thing, ayan, habang nandiyan si Coach Ruel, tsaka ayan si JC. Ako the way he went down, the way Yumir Marshall went down, sobrang lambot ng panga niya. Para sa akin, whether they admit it or not, me as a fighter, as a coach, and as an analyst, feeling ko na knockout sa gym yan. Sobrang lambot ng panga niya. Diba? He's received so many punches in his entire career in the gym and during sparring. Pero para sa akin, feeling ko they probably did hard sparring leading to the fight, probably 2 to 3 weeks leading to the fight, nag-hard sparring yan, then siguro na knockout yan. Kasi sobrang lambot ng panga niya eh. Hindi, bro, yung mga, sabihin na natin malakas, not to take away from the power of Isaiah Hart. Malakas daw talaga sumuntok si Isaiah Hart. Pero matigas din yung panga ni Ymir eh, 'di ba? Nakita naman natin Olympics, ilang suntok tinanggap sa mukha niyan eh, 'di ba? Pero for this one, ang bilis. Ang bilis talaga nung pagbuckle ng tuhod niya. Tapos the second knockdown niya talagang flat. Sabi ko, ba't ang lambot ng nervous system ni Ymir? Ibig sabihin, baka na-knockout sa gym to. Tapos, hindi pa masyado nakaka-recover din lumaban. Ngayon, okay, kung totoo man yun, plus points din naman kay Ymir yun. Kasi makikita natin ngayon na nandun yung determination, nandun yung puso, nandun yung resilience na, hindi, okay, na-knockdown ako, bumagsak ako, tayo tayo ngayon. Tayo tayo, bawi tayo. JC, your thoughts on that one? Ay, teka, nakamute yung ni.
Actually, partly, naiintindihan ko kung bakit grabe yung hype behind Ymir Marshall. Manny Pacquiao is already retired and everybody is looking for the next Pinoy boxing superstar. And considering Olympic bronze medalist si Ymir, a lot of people think na baka sakali siya na yung isa sa mga magdadala ng bagong ganong katinding hype sa Philippine boxing. And lalo pa na sa division siya na wala masyadong Pilipino. Siguro meron dyan 2-3 and siya yung pinakamaingay ang pangalan. Pero yun nga, kung i-hype natin yung tao, katulad ng ginagawa ng mga maraming content creators ngayon, sana lagyan natin ng mag-weigh in tayo kung paano natin sila i-hype up. Kasi, yung sobrang pag-hype, in a way, makakasama for the boxer. Kita mo yung lahat ng hate na natatanggap ni Ymir Marshall ngayon after that fight could be traced directly dun sa hype na ginawa ng mga tao behind him. Di ba? Ang bigat ng pressure. So lahat ng tao nag-expect na he would be performing dun sa highest level, which, and again, second pro fight. Technically, magkaiba yung amateurs sa pros. Kasi sa amateurs, you'll do everything to win and pwede kang manalo by points. Yung rule, hindi ko alam kung ang rules dun basta malinis na tumama kahit hindi mabigat, puntos na, okay na. Sa pro boxing, iba Tsaka sa pro boxing, mas mabigat na yung suntok ng mga kalaban mo kasi,
smaller gloves, boxing, bigger opponents.
Everybody wants a knockout in pro boxing. Sa amateurs, hindi naman exactly ganun sa mga Pinoy boxers, I'm guessing ganun ang mindset ng karamihan. Pero, if everywhere else in the world, hindi.
Kaya how about yung observation mo on how quick Ymir went down?
Ang na-observe ko lang din doon, yun nga, dinadali ni Hart si Marshall ng fundamentals, ng basics. Yung isang knockdown niya na nakita ko, sobrang clean na cross. Open yung defense ni Marshall, sobrang clean na cross. Talagang, kumbaga parang papunta siya dun sa suntok, nag-meet sila, bagsak siya. Ganun kalinis. And yun nga, tama ka doon sa point. I guess there's a possibility na nabatter siya ng sobra preparing for this fight. Na yung katawan niya hindi pa fully recovered. Pero, he had to go up in the ring and fight already. So,
diba? So, everyone, let us know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts about the whole Ymir thing. Okay.
Siguro.
Ayan, si Amado Rigondo. Ymir Marshall is my idol. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Tama yan. Okay, that's good. That's good. Good to know that there are a lot of Ymir Marshall fans. Let's be patient. Let's be patient. Let's just keep supporting Ymir. And he's destined for greatness. I rarely say this about fighters, but our Olympic medalists, they all look focused, they all look determined to redeem themselves and get better. And then Ymir is shuffling a pro career with another Olympic stint. So there's so many things that he needs to balance. And ako lang it doesn't help that there are a lot of negative comments coming from his fellow kababayans, di ba? It's okay to be critical. It's okay to discuss na I like the fact that people are saying that the stoppage na yung stoppage maaga, sayang. Okay 'yun. Pero yung ida-downplay natin yung efforts tsaka yung sasabihin, bagsak agad. I'm like, uy,
Shoot down yung...
sinushoot down nyo. Parang hindi natin alam kung ano nangyari sa gym. Hindi natin alam kung ano nangyari sa camp. However, ang pinaka malinaw is bumagsak si Ymir pero tumayo. 'Di ba? Tapos lumaban. 'Di ba? Normally sa knockdowns, doon mo nakikita yung character ng isang fighter. How they deal with knockdowns, how they deal with adversity, doon mo makikita, doon mo sila matetest talaga. Doon lalabas yung tunay na character. So it was a good test for Ymir Marshall, and I like his performance. I just didn't like the finish. Hindi, sayang. Very anticlimactic eh. Parang sana, nung nakita ko, okay, medyo wobbled na. Bumawi na si Ymir. Sana, konti pa. Di ba parang, pinabayaan mo lang ng konti, ref. Di ba? Para convincing, di ba? Para wala nang masabi yung ibang tao.
And medyo,
And of course,
sa totoo lang, parang they took away the fight from both fighters eh. Parang ganun yung nangyari kasi,
diba?
Unfortunate yung ending eh.
And of course, ito yan para maganda. Everyone who's watching and listening, do you guys think na okay mag-rematch? Okay mag-rematch. Isaiah Hart versus Ymir Marshall, 'di ba? Let them run it back, 'di ba? Let them run it back and see kung 'di ba? Let them run it back and see kung sino ba talaga, 'di ba? Sino ba talaga ang panalo, 'di ba? So, ako I have no problems with that. I have no problems with that. I think they could run it back and they could, 'di ba? Tignan natin talaga ngayon, and it builds more hype. It's good for both fighters, 'di ba? Magandang opportunity
ngayon,
for
may
them
hype na, may backstory na maganda eh.
May backstory na, 'di ba? So, we'll see. Now, moving on, UFC 273. This was an amazing fight card. Okay? If there's one thing that na talagang ang ganda nung fight card na yon. But first things first, 'di ba? Let's just visit yung yung undercard ng konti. Okay? Very notable, Mackenzie Dern. Okay, our favorite Mackenzie Dern defeats Tisha Torres via decision. A lot of people still think that Tisha Torres won, pero I'll try to watch the fight again, but I think Mackenzie Dern kinda did enough. Okay? Sige, still not convinced, pero did enough to win. Okay tayo dyan. Were you able to watch it, Carl?
Yeah, yung main card. Yeah, Tisha, napanood ko. Ang ganda na ng improvement ng striking ni Mackenzie, courtesy of what's his face?
Jason Parillo.
Yeah.
Mr. Parillo.
Kasi naman. She made weight, guys. Ha?
Diba? Yun ang importante.
Importante.
She's been making... Okay.
Problemado.
Diba?
She looks great.
Been making weight and we love it. And ako, syempre, as a jiu-jitsu guy, and to see people na venturing into jiu-jitsu world champions, venturing into MMA, and then improving their striking, medyo nakakatawa. It brings happiness for me. It brings happiness to me. So, Mackenzie Dern won against Tisha Torres, and then for me, this is like the real co-main event. Okay, this is the real co-main event. It's the welterweight bout between Gilbert Burns and JC's boy, Khamzat Shamav. So let's go with JC first.
Ang ganda.
What are your thoughts? What
about your boy? Oy! Nawala si Sir Jace. Nakatunog siguro yung chat.
Ikaw muna, Carl. Do you think that Khamzat is the real deal? after this
Oh my
fight?
God. Ang daming na-reveal dun sa fight. Kasi first of all, it really looked like the man was rushing. And si Hamzat was rushing. He wanted to take Gilbert out in the first round. And he admitted it himself dun sa dulo. Sabi niya, I was kind of like looking for a round 1 KO kasi I built, ayan na naman yung hype. I built it so much and I predicted it na tipong nagmadali ako. Kaya ayun, pagdating ata yung second round, di ba? Inupakan siya ni Gilbert. Winged him with the right. And he fell down. It's like, oh, he's human after all. It's like,
Grabe
oh my
yun.
God. I thought I was dead, man.
Parang nanlaki yung mata ko nung nakita ko.
Nervous, di ba? Like, oh my God.
Nervous,
Oh my God, baka na patalo. Oh, shit. And then, he rallied back. It's okay that we see him as human. Parang at the top 5, top 6 of the division, obviously life is very different. He's been running through everybody. And now he can't run through everybody because, small mistakes, small adjustments mean your life. And apparently, Dana White liked it so much na binigyan niya si Gilbert Burns ng win money pa rin. So pagkapareho lang ang sinweldo nila ni Hamza.
Got his win bonus. Dana White gave him his win bonus. Eto na, JC.
JC. What about your boy?
Oh,
Your
diba?
boy, JC. Your boy.
Diba? Mga boy delivered. Diba? Nung isa pala magpasok niya.
Kasi naman, tol, dinervyos siya dun sa Chechen dictator.
Pero I mean, yung lahat ng tao sinasabi, this was a better fight for Burns than Hamzat. They're forgetting na si Hamzat before this fight was number 11. Before kay dun sa Chinese guy na kalaban niya, si Lee, he was not even ranked. I don't remember if he was ranked before that. Simon, fight niya before this, nag-jump siya sa number 11, and this fight, he fought the number 2 guy. And he won. It was not an easy win, pero it proves na he's just no ordinary fighter. I mean, meron siyang something sa kanya, which he showed in that fight. Na, kind of showed na, his stock value should go up after this fight. Hindi ko alam kung anong magiging rank niya after this fight, if he's gonna be
Dana said
in
he's
the top
number
5.
2.
Oh shoot, diba? And I remember, sabi ni Dana White, whoever wins this will face Colby Covington.
Yeah.
So, question is, how will Hamzat fare against Colby? The trash talking will surely
Lagay
be wild.
natin yan. Tanong lang, let's ask our community. Right? Everyone's watching.
Theoretically,
what happens if Khamzat Chimaev versus Colby Covington fights? Right, who do you think will win? Hey, who wins? Let us know. Diba? Let us know. Let us know.
He has a lot of things to work on, no, JC?
Ang maganda kasi
for sure.
dyan
I mean,
is...
yun nga maganda rito eh. Nakita niya kung ano yung mga butas niya that he has to work on now that he's within the top 5. Kasi sa lower levels, hindi mo naman exactly makikita yung mga ganun. Kasi, pare-pareho kayo ng position in the food chain.
And I will add to what JC and Carl said na when it comes to Khamzat Chimaev, the hype is there to build him up. And then it will reach a point wherein the UFC has no choice but to give him what he wants or give the audience what they want to answer questions about Khamzat Chimaev's hype. And it was answered with the Gilbert Burns fight. And this was only for 3 rounds. Okay? Kasi at number 11, if he fights anybody from top 10 or bottom of the top 10, he's just gonna run over them.
Yeah, alam na natin, nakita na natin.
Whether these fighters admit it or not, they're a little afraid of Chimaev. Okay, they're a little afraid of Khamzat kasi he's strong, he's athletic, and pero yung mga nasa top 5, hindi takot kay Khamzat yan. They all know that he is not at that level yet. He's not at
Yeah.
the level na hindi pa siya natetest, hindi pa nasusubukan.
Mhm.
Para dun sa mga yon, hindi pa siya subok, hindi pa siya
Let's
nasusubukan.
not lie to
So,
ourselves. Kamaru is not afraid of Hamza.
Yeah.
oh.
No
And
way.
for me, Kamaru's gonna beat Khamzat Shamab any day. There are so many things that were answered. So if Khamzat Shamab can beat a top 5 guy, he just beat the number 2 guy.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Is he able to just run over people? Gilbert Burns was no pushover. Gilbert
Yes.
Burns clearly showed that Khamzat Shamab was human. Diba? He almost stopped
And
the
it's
hype
okay
train.
that we
And
see him
it's
as human
okay.
now. Oh.
Tsaka ano yan that fight could have gone either way.
Mhm.
It was only for 3
We
rounds.
really thought he would be dead after that right hook.
Oh,
He went
Tanga.
down, man.
round 1 was ako nga I would have been happy kung draw yun eh. Kasi round 1 was
yeah.
Khamzat, round
Yeah.
2 was Burns. Round 3 I don't really know. I have to watch it again.
Mhm.
Kasi
Ano,
they were trading
medyo
punches, 'di ba? Even if Burns was, I mean, yung takedown hindi nga siya na takedown eh. Parang half takedown, parang pinned against the cage lang yun eh. And you can't really say that Burns was in any type of danger kasi he was moving around the cage, and then there was a sequence during the 3rd round na he kind of hurt Khamzat and he was moving forward. Diba?
I
He was
loved it.
moving forward.
Sobrang
So,
love ko yun. Grabe.
Medyo kasi Khamzat was trying to walk him down. It was a good strategy, okay? These are yung mga maliliit na details na. Ito na yung medyo boring details. Si Khamzat, alam niya na tabla. So leading to the 3rd round, ang ginawa niya talaga was press the action. Move forward, move forward, move forward. Gusto niya ipakita sa judges na siya yung umaabante. Kahit na walang suntok na walang suntukan na nangyayari.
Lalakad ako eh. Lalakad ako.
Pinapakita niya na siya yung naglalakad forward. Hindi, parang late na rin na-realize ni Durinho yon na parang, teka lang, ako yung umaatras lagi. So doon yung nakikita yung fight IQ, di ba, at top 5. Sobrang taas. Nakikita ba yung mga maliliit na cues na yun, napapansin na nila. Kaya, towards sa gitna nung 3rd round, biglang nag-flurry si Durinho. Then, tinamaan si Khamzat, biglang baliktad na ngayon. Si Durinho naman ngayon yung... Kaya nakita mo sila Joe Rogan, biglang nagsisigaw, di ba? Kasi, para sa kanila, nag-shift yung tide, nag-shift yung momentum. Di ba? So, how do you score that? Di ba? Paano mo score yun?
Did you
Yung isa,
guys see
walking
how
down.
frustrated Hamzat's corner was with him then during
Oo.
2nd, 3rd? Like, anong ginagawa mo?
Kasi nga, tama rin yung sinabi ni Carl kanina. And it was confirmed during the interview. It was just really, really...
I
Kasi,
wanted to get him out. Yeah.
and we're gonna circle back to what Carl said at the beginning in the boxing segment of the he wanted to live up to the hype. And then he realized na, teka, si Gilbert Burns pala to. Si
It's
Gilbert
not a number
Burns pala
10
to.
guy, bro.
Hindi pala ganong kadali.
Yeah.
Diba? Doon mo makikita ko, ikaw yung number 11, tapos kinakain mo lahat ng tao sa top 15, sa top 20, kailangan pumasok din sa isip mo na at top 10, medyo kaya mo pa yan. Meron siyang tinalong top 10 kasi, pero at top 5, it's not easy. Hindi na siya madali. And yun yung parang, doon nagising si Khamzat. Nagising siya during, or parang na-realize niyo parang 2nd round. Kasi after the 1st round, makikita mo medyo frustrated yung mukha ni Khamzat Shamab. Tama si Carl. If pag nakita niyo yung camera angles, medyo bad trip din yung corner niya. Kasi
Bad trip sinisigawan talaga siya. Walang translator, so di natin alam
walang hindi ibig sabihin nun, hindi niya ginagawa yung game plan. Ibig sabihin ng gigil siya. So
let me ask you a
round,
question guys, sorry.
Go.
How, because for me, Hamzat is already one of the top welterweights for the last 3 years. How much is his championship potential now? He's not ready for Kamaru. 50-50 for Colby. How soon will he be champion? Because for me, it's just a matter of time.
Next year. Next year pala. Next
Ganun
year.
kabilis, di ba?
Next
2 years.
year
Give
or
it a John Jones
pagka,
2
time.
years, no?
Probably 2 years
he's
if
gonna be
he
champion.
continues. Oh, yeah, 2 years unless so let's give it 2 years plus Kamaru gets into a horrible accident or loses a
Does
leg,
boxing
Oh
instead.
loses
my
an
God.
arm, 'di ba?
Mabangga na kotse.
Destroys all of
Namasana.
the ribs in his body. Yan, probably.
Or
Kasi
does a
ilan taon na ba si
Canelo
Kamaru Usman
boxing
ngayon?
match.
Ilang
Ilan nga
Ngayon,
ba
taon na
si
ba si Kamaru?
Kamaru?
Parang mid-30s, late 30s na si Kamaru Usman,
Mm.
'di ba? However, he hasn't really parang
34
he
pa lang
hasn't
si
really
Kamaru. So,
and he hasn't
good.
really had damage, 'di ba? The only guy who probably damaged Kamaru Usman is Gilbert Burns,
Yes.
'di ba?
yeah.
Now, had that fight been 5 rounds,
Oh, would have been interesting.
it's hard for me to decide the whole Kamzat thing. We all know that he's good. We all know that he passed the test. He passed the test. Pero
Yep.
how good is he in championship rounds?
Yes.
We have yet to see him in a 5-round fight. So
Yes.
so sabi nga ni Dana, 'di ba? Next stop is Colby Covington. So for sure, it's going to be interesting how the trash talk will happen, 'di ba? Is Covington gonna get into Kamzat's head? Ano ngayon yung kasi nakita na natin si Kamzat, pwedeng hindi siya makinig sa trash talk, pero may sarili siyang mentality na kailangan tapusin ko tong first round. Kailangan ko to tapos. Tapos hindi nangyari. 'Di ba? Hindi nangyari.
Na-disappoint siya sa sarili niya eh.
Na-disappoint siya sa sarili niya. And then it took a round. It took an entire second round bago siya nakapag-recompose. So, ako kasi the way I see it, kung 5 rounds yung laban nila ni Durinho,
Another story.
baka nanalo si Durinho.
Yes.
Okay?
Just because he's had that experience.
Oo, diba? Very unpopular opinion if that fight was 5 rounds, Gilbert Burns would have defeated Khamzat Chimaev at this stage in his career. Syempre, 2 to 3 years from now, it would be different. Pero at this stage, feeling ko he would have beaten So now we're gonna go Colby Covington. There's an eliminator na isa, parang sila Luge versus
Vicente Luque.
I forgot the name of the guy. That guy can probably fight Durinho, Gilbert Burns. And then
Bilal Muhammad,
Yeah.
Ayan, then kasi Leon Edwards ba and Kamaru are on?
Yes, they're on.
Parang
Yes.
ibibigay kay Leon Edwards, di ba?
Tama naman, he's earned
kay Leon Edwards. Nakawa rin ako siya kay Leon Edwards eh. Di ba? Kasi di ba?
He has a puncher's chance daw. Puncher's
diba?
chance.
Namuntikan ka na kay Nate Diaz eh. Di ba? Muntikan ka na kay Nate Diaz. Tapos nagka-title shot ka pa. Pero we'll give it to Leon Edwards. That guy is really talented.
Yes.
But I don't see him beating Kamaru Usman. He's gonna be smaller.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Ayan. Major shout out to one of our favorite referees in the MMA scene, referee Florence Eusebio.
Yep.
Ayan, meron siyang how about rematch Khamzat Burns 2. Ako, game ako dyan. Uncle
Pwede rin.
Dana.
Pwede.
Uncle Dana, Tito
Kasi,
Dana.
Kung may ma-injure.
Ka po. Ayan. Kung nakikinig
tsaka,
ka po, yung mga...
Medyo,
Please listen.
I guess, medyo parang trivia na din. This fight against Burns was Chimaev's longest fight in his career. He's 11-0. Pero prior to this fight, hanggang first minute ng second round lang umaabot lahat ng laban niya. Yun yung pinakamahaba prior to this.
Yeah.
So hindi pa natetesting kahit yung hangin niya eh. So,
pero yung kaya nga Colby Covington fight makes the most sense really. I-tax mo yung gas nitong si Khamzat. Tingnan mo kung hindi malunod sa di ba? Tapos main event dapat. I agree with Coach Franco. Like 4 and 5, tingnan mo kung marunong pa mag-swimming si Boros.
Oo, di ba? Kasi
throwing in the shark tank ka na.
I wanna see him in I want to see him go 5 rounds. Diba?
Especially after COVID.
Diba? Hindi na ako sana nga yung Colby Covington 5 rounds eh. Ayun, kahit si Ref Florence.
Main event. Main event. Yan.
Diba?
Let's see.
Sino pa ba? Oo, kasi yun na yung welterweight.
Sa welterweight. Wala na. Number 2 na si Burns eh.
Di ba? Yun na yung ano dyan. I mean, wala na ako nakikitang ibang matchup eh. Di ba?
Balik pa ba
And
si
then the
Nick
next
Diaz?
one, for me, this is the uneventful
God.
co-main event. Piotr Jan versus Aljamain Sterling. Aljamain Sterling won via decision. Split decision, by the
No, he
way.
did not.
Carl,
Sorry.
ikaw, I'ma give
Sorry.
you this floor for your thoughts and your musings based on what you saw. Let's have it.
I want to just say that I will not be signing Aljamain Sterling's apology form. Fuck you, man. Naglabas ka na apology form. For me kasi, ang ganda nung laban in terms of story. Because how did we get here, di ba? Ang daming mga hype, ang daming... Si Aljo
For
has
the
been
Emmys.
laman ng memes. Si JC has been guilty of this. Spreading Aljo memes online.
Yes.
For like more than a year, 'di ba? Lahat ng ginagawa niya kahit ma-injure siya na legit nga ba? Na-injure yung leg niya, nagpa-opera siya, parang everybody's been telling him that he's been ducking Piotr Jan. And the angry Russian has been like, "Oh, ano naman excuse mo, ganyan. And considering he can't really speak much English, si Piotr has been winning the meme and the trash talk. I cannot fathom how much Aljo has been made to look like a fool before this. So it must be all credit to him. So satisfying to win this and tell everybody, fuck you. Pero guys, I cannot give him round 1. I mean, okay, he took
I didn't give
Peter
him round
down.
1. I don't
Diba?
understand why.
So many people. The two judges gave him round 1. Why did you give him round 1?
Sige, tapusin mo na yan dito.
Oh,
Carl.
yun lang yung sa akin. I don't understand how round 1 went to Aljo because that was the swing round, obviously. Say 4 and 5 very clearly were. I'm sorry. Aljo, no. Screw you, Aljo. 4 and 5 were clearly Piotr Jan's rounds. Okay, aggression and cage control. Sige, bigay na natin yung round 2 and 3 kay Aljo. Round 1, I don't see it, man. Sige, you won the belt now. And ayoko na. Kailangan Franco. Nasa lang sa kanya.
Aljamain Sterling had a really good strategy.
Yeah.
He just compiled points. Alam mo tapik-tapik, just made parang siya yung volume.
Yes.
Piotr Jan was impact. Diba? Aljamain Sterling just showed judges na he scored a lot. Na parang ang dami niya, diba? The front kicks, diba? Yung tapik na front kicks, the body kicks na maliliit. So in terms of volume, lamang talaga si Aljamain Sterling. But when it comes to impact, aggression, Piotr Jan was there. Piotr Jan naman, to his fault, this was by no this was by any means the entirely Aljamain's fault. Piotr Jan didn't push the action. There was something that's holding him back. He probably hit a wall that we don't understand. Siguro parang may basta, diba, the first fight, he threw out the rule book. For some weird reason, all of a sudden, he didn't know what to do, and he didn't know how the rules work. On this particular fight naman, diba, he wasn't as aggressive. He wasn't, diba, he wasn't, Piotr Jan is capable of throwing many strikes.
With a short amount of time. Yeah.
Diba? Then all of a sudden, for this fight, absent yun. Which is weird. Something na hindi ko magets.
I thought it would be a really angry Russian.
Diba? Oo, diba? Na parang,
like, what the hell?
Uy, diba?
We saw a frustrated Russian instead.
Diba?
Na-sanction
diba,
din. Could it be the corner, guys?
Na-sanction din ba
Na-sanction din siya.
Diba? Sinabi
Baka
si,
diba?
Si Piotr yan. Oy, may sanctions yung ano. May sanctions yung bansa
Di ba
mo.
pinag-uusapan natin yan before? Baka
Di ba may sanctions
they fuck
din yung
him
ano.
over because of the Russia
So,
thing.
di ba, Piotr, Mr. Yan,
Ang sarap na
di
conspiracy
ba,
doon.
your country is serving so many sanctions. So, we're going to sanction, we're going to limit, di ba, we're going to limit
The runs we give you.
di ba,
Only two.
you're only limited to X number of strikes per round. Di ba? You're only limited to X
won't
number
count
of
the
kicks
others.
per round.
Pag
We will
sumobra ka,
closely
hindi
monitor
gagana yung
this.
visa mo dito.
Di ba? Parang labo eh. Ako ang labo eh. Di ba? Si
I wanna
Piotr
hear
Yan has
JC,
been a
sorry.
volume fighter.
Oo,
I've always seen Piotr Yan. I'm a Piotr Yan fan. Okay? We're
Mhm.
all Piotr Yan
Yes.
fans here.
Everybody
We're also...
saw Uriah Faber versus Piotr Yan. So, we're all on the same page of the volume, di ba? Like, ang bilis kaya sumapak.
Di ba? Tapos,
Mhm.
sa akin lang talaga, volume fighter ka, all of a sudden, nawala yun. Di ba?
Sanctions,
Nawala.
sanctions.
Di ba? Feeling ko
JC. I wanna
Diba?
hear it.
Na-sanctions. Conspiracy theory lang po namin yun. Okay?
Yeah, conspiracy
Tinfoil
theory
hat,
yan. Before the
diba?
fight,
Huwag niyo
we
po
were talking
seryosohin,
about
ha?
that.
Grabe kayo.
Diba? Pero
But yeah,
yun. It's sayang. All of a sudden, Aljamain has bragging rights. Now he has bragging rights. Now he has...
He's going to take a fucking
Vindication.
victory lap for a year, coach.
Oh, for sure yan.
Naasar ako eh.
For sure yan. For sure. And ano yan, we're not gonna hear the end of it. And okay yan for him. Kasi now, there will be more fighters going after him. The problem is, it relegates Piotr Yan down the line. Yun yung
Yes.
mahirap
Yeah.
eh. Sayang eh.
Balik
Now
siya
he
sa
needs
pila.
to... Diba? Kailangan, ngayon, laban niya uli yun. Okay. What's next for Aljamain? He'll probably sit it out for 8 months. And then,
1 year ulit.
1 year ulit.
Papa-opera na naman siya
Pero
para
uli niya yung leg niya.
sure next fight okay na naman.
Diba? Tingnan natin how this shakes up the division.
Is there not a rumor? Sorry.
Hindi, go.
Is there not a rumor that Triple C is coming back? Kasi, you know,
Alam mo yung
kinda
ganyan na
hates
yan. Basta
Aljo.
bumalik na lang
Hindi,
siya,
he-
man.
Bumalik na lang siya.
Yeah, he just
Balik
entered
na lang
the
siya, man.
USADA pool.
Oh.
He just entered
Yun na yan.
USADA. Oh, so
Yeah.
it's a good chance, man.
Diba? Tignan
Gawin na
natin.
nila.
Kasi it's siguro kasi nakita niya there are a
May pera
lot
na
of
ulit.
interesting fights, diba? Then ano yan eh, kasi he's coaching a lot of fighters, then syempre, while you're coaching, you suddenly realize, hey, I can still do this. Diba? I can still fight, diba?
Kaya pa pala itong mga to eh.
Diba? If I can make
And
money,
Wala na si
then
DJ.
Piotr Yan's
Oh, diba?
water
Wala
boy.
rin si DJ. So it's going to be a very interesting division then. And I don't see anybody who can wrestle the way Cejudo can wrestle in that division. Then of course, for the main event, we got Alex Volkanovski versus Chang Sung Jung, or the Korean Zombie, wherein it could be the Korean Zombie's last fight based on
What he said.
his post-fight interview with Joe Rogan inside
If
the
it is,
octagon.
okay lang
Sabi naman niya, he's going to assess, it just so happens that during the fight, he hit a wall that he couldn't get over. For me
Kita
naman
mo eh.
kasi, the TKO or the finish happened in the 4th round. It simply means that Chang Sung Jung is still there. The Korean Zombie is still there. Nagkataon lang talaga na para sa akin coming from a 2-year layoff, you had 1 or 2 fights. He should have fought someone from the top 5 or the top 10 before fighting Volkanovski. Kasi Volkanovski is riding a different momentum. He's at a different level. Tapos parang pinain mo kagad si Korean Zombie
Masyadong
sa
mataas
kanya.
yung confidence level ni Volkanovski din eh.
Diba? Tsaka yung level of fighting, medyo malayo talaga eh.
Oo.
Sana talaga pinalaban muna si Korean Zombie ng mga
Baka kinuha
top
lahat
10 guy.
baka nakuha lahat ni Volkanovski ng yung mga tawag dito, yung mga confidence at lahat ni Piotr Yan kasi they were sparring, di ba? Remember?
Oo, diba?
Oo
They were
nga.
sparring. Pero yan sayang yung
sayang.
How do you think of guys?
para sana wag siya mag-retire muna. Parang
Pwede pa. I want 2 more fights.
I understand the fight, the wall that he's talking about eh. Kasi that's normal for
He
fighters.
just couldn't adjust,
especially-
no?
Especially, ano yun eh, you're still coming off a layoff. Tapos,
Yeah.
syempre, the
nga
fighters
pala.
that he faced, with the
Hindi
exception
naman
of
ganun
Brian
kataas.
Ortega, di ba? So, medyo okay si Ortega. You came from then you had I consider that a tune-up fight, a comeback fight. Then he fought Ortega. And then there was a long
Mahaba.
gap.
Plus he had military mandatory
Tapos
military
ano pa, 'di ba? So
service.
you're coming out of but there's like long periods of time wherein you weren't able to train. So
Yes.
that's going to diminish your reflexes, your reaction time. Maano yun eh, nakaka-apekto yun. Ring rust yun eh. Sa boxing, ring rust yun. So cage rust yun. So then when you come back, Volkanovski kagad, di ba? Medyo ano yun eh,
Layo
di ba? You haven't, parang ano yan eh, ang tagal mong hindi nag-bike, tapos all of a sudden nag-bike ka kagad.
Yeah.
So expect mo kagad na, medyo kailangan, di ba? Steady ka muna bago mo makuha yung rhythm mo, bago mo makuha yung balance mo. Ganun
You know what I want? A Yair Rodriguez rematch. Sayang yun eh.
Pwede.
Yair versus Volkanovski ba to?
Hindi, Yair
Korean
versus
Zombie.
Korean Zombie uli.
Oo, maganda yun.
Number
That's gonna
2,
be a
diba?
good fight. Okay.
Eh, parang
Vega
yung-
Mandigma, shout out sa'yo, bro. Thank you for watching.
Hello.
Thank you for watching.
You remember how he got
Pero,
knocked out?
okay yun.
Yung weird na elbow.
Oo, yung
Parang
weird
sa
na
swerte yan
paangat
eh.
na gano'n.
Oo. Like, what the hell?
Galing.
Like,
Ang galing. Ang galing.
no way, that was intentional.
Diba? Ang galing. Pero, I mean, at how old is, ano na ba? Si Chang Sung Jong?
35.
35. So,
Pwede
one
pa.
more year, bro. Diba?
Pwede pa
Feeling
siguro,
ko kaya yan. 1 to 2 years. Diba? Give him as many fights as he can. Keep him busy. Keep him
Just keep him
active.
busy. Yung laking bagay lang
Diba?
for him.
Like ano mo muna, yung mga fight night muna. And then, pag maganda yung performance niya, then give him a top 5 guy. And then if he can fight Volkanovski again, diba? Kasi this whole thing kasi, the layoff, for everyone na nanonood, malaking factor yung layoff eh. Diba? Kahit sabi mo nag-training ka, iba eh. Iba yung nagte-training ka, iba yung camp, yung nagpe-prepare ka sa laban. Tapos iba na yung pag nandun ka sa venue, iba na talaga yung venue na may crowd na ang ingay, ang liwanag ng mga ilaw, tapos nakita mo busy lahat sa likod, yung backstage na gulo. Ay, nako.
What about,
go, JC.
may naisip ako eh. Kung he's gonna try again, hindi pa siya magre-retire talaga, there are 2 fights na naiisip kong pwede. Mga magandang pwedeng i-rematch for him.
Ayan, sino yan?
So si Yair Rodriguez, given that crazy elbow, si
Uh-huh.
Brian Ortega, and then
Uli.
Volkanovski
Ulit.
Yeah.
Brian Ortega.
3 matches. Kasi,
3 matches. Hindi, pwede yan. Sige, Yair siya. If he wins against Yair, make him fight Brian. Kasi Brian fought Volkanovski for the title, di ba?
Yes.
Kasi ang alam ko, they're
ganun din,
gonna
balik na
make,
rin sa pila si Ortega eh. So,
kasi they're gonna make Holloway Volkanovski again.
Again,
If
oh.
I'm not mistaken, Kasi wala,
I would like-
Holloway beat everybody. Wala.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wala ang choice eh.
It's kind of suspect kasi parang, paano, hintayin na lang natin manalo si Max. Again.
Di ba?
I would like to see it, pero parang, again,
Diba?
Baka
Not
hindi na
unless
ako magbayad for that.
someone is going to be high up in the ranks na medyo magiging matunog. Pero
yeah,
ano
dapat.
yan? Yung division na yan, parang papansin mo lumiliit, no? Parang okay. Wala pang stand out from the
pa.
top 10 or the top 15.
And Connor's not going back to featherweight. Masyado na siya.
Wala, definitely.
if he
We
wants
don't
to
even know
dominate-
when Connor is coming back. He just keeps on shouting and tweeting.
Can we
and-
appreciate, like, what is your opinion of the Herb Dean stoppage? Because for me, it was very, very good for once. Like, ang dami mong tinanggap na like, okay, finally, a standing Yes, thank you, Herb.
Hindi, okay yun. Tama yung tawag niya.
Good decision.
Sa wakas.
Kawakas. Like, on time si Herb Dean. Hindi siya huli, hindi siya maaga.
Kasi ako, okay lang sa akin yung...
So wala sa sarili si Piotr yan, pero si Herb Dean nandun. Nasa sarili. So,
Oo. Tsaka ano yun tawag dito, ako lang as a referee, I'd rather be a little bit too late. Like, little late lang, little late. Para lang di ba? Para pag di-replay mo, okay, magrereklamo ka pa ba? Eto kita mo, bugbog na di ba? Magrereklamo ka pa ba? Kesa yung early, I'd rather be late than early. Syempre, yung iba, gusto nila prevention, gusto nila, di ba? Sasabihin nila, fight. Ako, a notch lang. Like,
I think
para
so.
lang walang
Kasi,
question. Para walang
yeah,
question.
and you let that fighter earn his money, man.
Oo, yun.
Diba?
Diba? We have to let them earn it.
And the worst part is whether a little bit early or a little bit late. Reklamo silang lahat. So, ewan ko na.
Ngayon, sakto-sakto na.
If we go back to the tape, di ba? If we go back to the tape, we go back to the video, ayan, kita nyo, wala na.
Wala ka na complain.
Diba? Wala ka nang complain. Wala ka nang
zombie na talaga siya. Si Korean zombie na at that point.
So,
what a tough guy.
Very tough guy. Ako, I'm a Korean zombie fan. As in, quality fights.
Me too.
I really hope he doesn't retire, diba? Give it 1 or 2 years, diba? Last run. Kumbaga, last run, then, diba, malay natin, mag-ano ka, diba, parang, last fight mo, Korea.
Uncle
diba?
Dana, Rodriguez and Ortega before,
Yes.
Diba? Malay natin.
Sana nga sa Seoul gawin no? Parang,
diba?
He's from our favorite team, Team Mad. Yeah.
So, tingnan natin, diba? Tingnan natin. Malay mo, diba? I mean, the Korean zombie is not just a UFC fighter. Parang he's transcended. He's an icon.
Pop culture na siya.
So we'll see. Yeah. Pero sana talaga. And
you guys
it's going to be...
think, where does Volky go from here?
Wala. He's gonna stay on top. I don't see anybody finishing him off. And he keeps getting better. Medyo nag-i-improve siya. Wala, father time lang kalaban yan. Volkanovski. Father time lang kalaban yan. Yan lang yan. Tsaka, how much damage can he take in each fight? Kasi, wala rin.
Incredibly resilient guy.
Very, very tough. Hindi mo rin alam kung has he really had damage? Parang wala masyado
Well,
wala masyado
Brian squeezed out a few neurons from that guillotine, pero aside from that,
diba, in terms of striking, parang wala
wala men. Tikas.
So we'll see.
Wala din naman siya nahita doon.
Max Holloway din. Diba? So okay yan. Tignan natin, everyone. Let us know your thoughts. Make sure to follow us on social media. Okay, this has been a really, really good week for combat sports. Ang daming magagandang laban, ang daming very interesting, di ba? Di ba? Ang dami natin pinagkwentuhan. Continuously support our local fighters. Supportahan po natin yung mga local fighters natin, yung mga local boxers. Major shout out to Team Bagsik, yung ating Muay Thai Association of the Philippines.
Preparing for Vietnam.
They're all preparing. Coach Billy, di ba? To everyone at Team Bagsik.
Them and Samahang Kickboxing ng Pilipinas are
preparing. Yan pa pala. Sakto. Samahang Kickboxing ng Pilipinas, yung bagong organization na yan. Again, very, very happy na meron tayong kickboxing organization kasi ang dami nating magagaling na combat sports and strikers dito sa Pilipinas.
Yes.
There's this Kyokushin Karate tournament that's going around. Diba, nagsimula sa maliit na gym yan, event, tas medyo nagpa-branch out na rin. I forgot the name, pero diba, again, another avenue for karate fighters to flourish, diba, the karate community. Okay yan. As in,
hopefully you guys can make it to Karate Combat, our favorite.
Yes. Yes.
I've seen a lot of probably 2 standouts sa PMAF, sa Philippine MMA Federation, mga galing karate gyms. Grabe sila sumipa. Grabe sila sumuntok. So, especially sa Kyokushin Karate.
By the way, did you see that video na sumipa and nag-break ng baseball bat si Drex Zamboanga?
Ayan pa, si Drex Zamboanga. Drex Zamboanga is back.
Flex,
Yeah.
Okay, so please follow him on his gym page. Okay, so Drex the
Oh
T-Rex
yeah, he has a new
Zamboanga,
gym. Yeah.
meron siyang gym. Okay,
Mm.
he's training
T-Rex
fighters,
MMA.
he's training people to be fit and healthy. So hanapin niyo sa Facebook, okay? Drex the T-Rex Zamboanga na gym. And then for ano pa bang upcoming? So we have
I'm not
Philippine
sure
MMA
kung
Federation,
On the
open pa
23rd,
for
yes.
PMAF on April 23.
yeah.
So keep tuning
April
keep
30 daw ata, East Side Fighting Challenge.
ayun, tapos
Oh,
after
wow.
that, ESFC Eastside Fighting Championships. They're completing that lineup. So yung mga gustong sumali sa ESFC tsaka sa PMAF, just go
Mga
to
grappling din dyan.
ESFC Facebook page, the PMAF or the Philippine MMA Federation Facebook page to get your entries. Ultimate Knockout Challenge, magkakaroon din. So combat sports is well and alive. There are so many
And Muay Thai
participants.
Association of the Philippines Regionals sa June na magsa-start.
Original. Oo nga pala.
Magkakaroon din sila ng
I just
regionals.
saw
They're
that.
just waiting for their LGU partners and their LGU hosts. Please, di ba? Let's i-cultivate natin yung combat sports kasi ang galing eh. Daming magagaling na atleta sa combat sports. Tsaka hindi lang siya pang combat sports, hindi lang siya pang tournament eh. Kung magko-combat sports ka or magma-martial arts ka, you're learning self-defense, tapos nagiging fit ka pa. 'Di ba? Two birds with one stone. Pag nag-enroll ka sa isang martial arts gym, magiging fit ka, magiging healthy ka, matututo ka pa ng bagong skill for the price of one. Okay? Isa lang binabayaran mo. Isang presyo lang monthly. Pero ang dami mong natututunan. Tapos lahat ng natututunan mo na yon, okay, pwede mong i-apply sa buhay mo. Diba? So,
Exactly.
there are
That's
so
what I
many
said.
schools there. You have MAP, you have Striking Protocol under Coach Gabay, 'di ba? You can message JC, you can message Karl, 'di ba? Striking Protocol alumni sila. And then si Karl naman also has contacts in the Jeet Kune Do, 'di ba? Sa his community. 'Di ba? JC naman has yung East Side people. JC's your boy, JC's the man for the job.
Madami
Diba? There's so
tayo
many.
ditong coaches.
There's so many resources of
Oh! Yun, no? Bago sticker, oh.
May plugging.
Bigyan ako isang
Gagawa
daan
ko
yan.
yung
Diba? There's so many resources ng maayos na coaches,
yes.
maayos na resources ng knowledge, 'di ba? Sobrang daming benefits ng martial arts. So please, thank you so much po sa lahat ng nanonood. Thank you so much po sa lahat ng nakikinig. We appreciate you and we really hope that you learned from this episode and our previous episodes. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Destroy MNL, Karl De Mesa, the JC Reyes, and of course, ako rin. I am on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on TikTok. Just type my name, Franco Rulloda, and follow me on those channels. And with that, thank you so much, everyone. Oh, plug mo yan, bro.
Every Wednesday ata, yung EMVN podcast namin. If any video editors are watching.
Oh, yan! Okay yan. Ako pinapanood
Barilan ng edits.
Barilan ng edits. Every Wednesday to 9 p.m. Panoorin nyo. It's very different to dito sa ginagawa nating combat sports thing. Pero ito, marami kayong matututunan dito sa live podcast na to.
Sino yung kasama mo doon? Banggitin mo sino? Bigatin yan.
Bigatin yan. Kasama ko doon si Boss Joel Salindong.
You know?
Yeah. He's
grabe
yan. Very veteran sa wedding industry. Si Ben Cuevas, kasama din namin of the Sports Bin. He's the technical director ng live.
Diba?
And syempre yung camera guy namin si Alexis Amparado.
Oh, diba? Yung mga bigatin sa industriya yan. Diba? Kompleto kami dito. So, again, thank you so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you next week on the next episode of Combat Sports Weekly. Yes. Bye-bye. Hey, Destroy MNL. Hey, Karl De Mesa. Thank you, Roll Chasers. Yan, tingnan habang habang tinatapos ni Facebook at ni YouTube yung aming rendering at ang aming pagbo-broadcast. Ganda pala talaga ng t-shirt ni Roll Chasers, no?
Ganda, men.
Thank you, Roll
Akala
Chasers.
ko nga para siya